What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, party people? It's your boy, Coach D Brown, former big leaguer, former first round pick with the Kansas City Royals. Giving you all this knowledge that I can with the youth baseball space, helping kids get maximum exposure and helping them get into schools and talking to some of the hottest coaches around the country, man. And man, I ain't gonna lie, like I'm super excited about this particular coach over here, man. I got a chance to meet, this young brother. I want to say last week we had a nice little roundtable discussion, man, and I asked him to come on. I'm really anxious to hear his story. I heard little bits and pieces of it. I'm looking forward to sharing it with you guys, man. It's always good to see, young African American guys, baseball dudes, coaching and getting opportunity to change kids' lives, man. Comes inner city kid from Chi-Town. I'm gonna let him tell his story, man. But I'm super excited to have my boy, Coach Charles Bolden, all right, Wisconsin-Eau out there in Wisconsin. I'm gonna learn, how you get up there, all right, from Chi-Town. But anyway, man, Coach, man, what's good with you, family?
All good, man. D, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Glad to do it. Wonderful opportunity to, kind of tell my story and kind of, give you my philosophy, my background, and kind of how I do things and kind of how I got to where I am.
Man, big time, man. Listen, it's been a while. It's been a while. What up, Keish? It's been a while since I've had a college coach on. So, I always love to start with, learning about your background and where your journey started to where you are as a head coach over there at Wisconsin-Eau. So if you could, Coach, man, just give that background. Where you from, playing career, to where you are now.
Yeah, so born in Chicago, born in K-Town. A lot of people from Chicago would know that. It's not the greatest area to grow up in. I was blessed to move to Oak Park, a nicer suburb, one of the nicer suburbs, not only in Illinois, but just in the country as far as diversity and different things like that. So I moved there when I was 8. I was always really active in sports. I played every sport growing up. Football, basketball, and baseball were like the main 3. I did that in high school as well. Had an opportunity to play college baseball at the next level. I could have played all 3 sports, but I picked baseball because baseball was kind of the sport where I felt like I had the most opportunity as far as my size, because I'm 6 feet. And in high school, I was like probably 5'10", like a $160 maybe. So, with my size, I thought baseball was the best opportunity with the most amount of teams and all those other things. So picked baseball. I played baseball in the University of St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois. You thought ideally I'd be there for 4 years and I'd have this like prolific career and, different things like that. Coming out of high school, I was a career 400 hitter in our conference, and we play one of the best conferences in the state. We were perennially ranked, not only for our class, but for the state, in the top 5 every year that I was in high school. So we saw Division I prospects, D1 drafted prospects all the time. And I hung with them. I always could hit. That was kind of my thing. Defense, I cared about, but hitting was the thing where I really focused a lot of my attention on, because that was just kind of what stuck to me with baseball. So I played college ball, thought I had this great career, ended up playing 1.5 years. Then after that, I was just really young and immature, wanted to transfer. I didn't think I was getting what I wanted, but to the coach's credit who came in, he was a legendary coach. He kept in contact with me. He was always a mentor for me. If I had questions, he answered my call all the time. And, he kept dealing with me. And then I was fortunate enough to get an opportunity to play with the Rockford Riverhawks. So I got an opportunity there, got a concussion during batting practice. They said they were going to keep me, and then they released me. In independent ball, that's kind of how it goes. Like when affiliated guys get, released, and me not having any college resume, not having really any real experience at the next level, I was the first guy to kind of go. But they were great. They handled themselves professionally as far as how they communicated with me when they did it, et cetera, and different things like that. But I think the first, turning thing for me is when I played in this collegiate league called the Pacific Southwest Baseball League. And that was in Nevada, Arizona, and California. So that was a summer league. It was a nationally ranked summer league at the time. The winning team played nationals in Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
And that was like the big summer circuit for like the World Series for collegiate leagues at the time. So I did really well in that league. I tore it up. It was wood bad, facing guys that were getting drafted, getting called. The next day I hit almost 340 in that league. Nice. Stole like 40 bags. So I was like, okay, I've arrived. I'm ready to go. And that kind of led to me wanting to get done with college early and thinking I was ready for pro ball. So that kind of set all that up. So then I got released after that. Then I played the next year in Texas. And then I really went away from what, I talked about me hitting and, things like that. I went away from what I did my whole career with hitting. I became really technical. I started working for the White Sox. And then with teaching the youth and things like that, you go through these different things. And I started getting in my own head and went away from really what helped me my whole career and what I was successful with. And then that got me released there, which was unfortunate because I was actually, that was one of the best opportunities that I had. And I had a couple other tryouts with, some other teams and professional teams and stuff like that. And just didn't work out. But yeah, man, that kind of all those things kind of taught me, learning the game from a different angle, the ups and downs, the highs and the lows, things that I would do as a coach, things that I would do differently, things that I would take away from. And it all kind of went in the memory bank. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Once I finished coaching, I started coaching high school ball. And, my focus was always to become a head college coach. That was the mission from 15 years old for me. I started working in the Park District the day I turned 16. And now I was focused on that. Like no matter what, I was going to do it. I coached a little bit of travel, but then I'm a control freak person. And, I wanted to do things my way and help, young athletes be able to have opportunities to play at the next level without having to go through a middleman. And, I'm a person that's like a right now, go get it person. I don't want to wait 3-4 days. If a kid tells me they want me to reach out to a school, I'm going to do it the minute they tell me. There were situations where I was on the phone at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning with college coaches, to try to help guys. And that's kind of the way I am. So I started my own travel organization. And essentially what that taught me was the business side of baseball. And because I didn't have this like big resume yet, when people looked at my resume, when I did apply for these jobs, they couldn't tell me that I didn't have the experience because running your own business, as you know, is actually harder than being a college coach because here there's so many, I have to go through so many different, avenues to get things done, which is, it's not a bad thing, but, with me being used to doing things on my own and getting it done, college it's easier. I just bring it up, I shoot an email and then they make sure it gets done as opposed to me having to do everything and, things like that. So that kind of helped me, but I started coaching college. Was at Chicago State. I was fortunate enough. Not a lot of coaches get a D1, coaching job right out the bag, So I was fortunate enough. I had really good results with that. Our numbers improved from the hitting standpoint, base running standpoint. The season I was there, and then I was teaching also, PE teacher, running my travel organization, coaching high school basketball, trying to coach college baseball, doing that. So I was working literally. I was an athletic director at the high school level. I've got experience being a personal trainer, all those different things. So I've tried to have everything, be a jack of all trades. So I had all those areas. I was doing all that. So with my schedule, Chicago State played in a WAC, which is the Western Athletic Conference, which is the West Coast, essentially. We were the only Midwest team in the conference. So it worked out in the scheduling that, most of our games were home that year. So that worked out great for me. So I could be there almost for everything, and even the other games, like we played Notre Dame, got to go there, Mizzou, different things like that, so that helped a ton. But then the next year, the schedule flipped, right? Because it's an annual thing, how they flip the schedule. So with me doing all the jobs, and as you know, college coaches aren't getting paid for assistant jobs like that. It's hard enough getting, good salaries for head coaches, but, did that. Went to Illinois Tech, another Division III school. I actually coached there with a former big leaguer named Lou Collier, who was really instrumental just as far as like he and I just talked the game. Like when we be on road trips, we'd be in the hotel. He and I room together. We'd be talking baseball to about 3 a.m. I pick his brain about stuff. He listened to me, kind of tell me like, hey, man, you're on the right path. He was the person that really told me like, hey, when you get this, you're going to take off with it when you get it. And for me, that was big. To have somebody that played at the highest level, respect my views on baseball and hear what my, philosophy was, and kind of give me that assurance that, I'd be okay. So he left after this my second year, and then the head coach there allowed me to take over the offense. So I did everything, hitting everything, base running. It was all on me, and we took off. We set school records. We set like 7 school records, 5 to 7 school records. Stole over 100 bags. Set records for RBIs. Everything. Hit 300 almost as a team. I think we hit 299 as a team.
Nice.
So again, another thing like reassured me, hey, keep doing what you're doing, the way you're teaching and things like that. Like I said, I've always kind of had that dream to be a head coach. Applied for this job, was fortunate enough to get it. 100 people applied for it. I was blessed enough to get it.
Wow.
I'm actually the first Black head coach in the history of the conference for any sport, not just baseball. You would assume baseball, right? But it's actually for any sport.
Wow.
So I take that pressure, as something that's a positive thing. And I want to lay the groundwork for other coaches to come after me. So through all that, that's where I'm at. That's how I'm here. And I'm happy to be where I'm at.
And listen, man, that's quite the journey, man, to go from, a year and a half of college ball to, ups and downs of independent professional ball, to getting a D1 coaching gig out the gate, coaching with one of the best teachers there is. I know Lou, been on the show twice, to getting a head coaching job and being, like you said, the first Black in the whole conference, man. And that's congratulations, man. I've heard very good things about you. Obviously, we've talked in the background, and my boy Matt over there, Vassar, spoke very, very highly of you, man. And so
shout out to Matt.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So, but anyway, I'm gonna kind of get into this conference, and we're gonna get to the conference side, but let's learn more about Wisconsin, Eau Claire, man. So where is it located? Give me some of the cities where it's, and then give me the conference it's in.
Yeah, so it's close to Minnesota, so it's north. It's about 90 minutes from Minnesota. Other surrounding areas are La Crosse, Platteville, UW Stout, which is also in the conference. The conference is the WIAC, the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. It consists of 8 teams. Most of them are all UW schools, so University of Wisconsin schools, and there's one school from Michigan in there, Finlandia. But it's a pretty historic conference as far as the competition. Multiple teams that have reached the World Series over the year, multiple teams that are perennially ranked in the top 20, top 25 in the D3 rankings. So it's a lot of rich history of baseball with this, and a lot of pride, and especially from the town that I'm in, Eau Claire, actually. Hank Aaron played here when he, first signed with the Brewers, and his statue is outside of the stadium. We play at the stadium called Carson Park, and his stadium's out there. My press conference was on his birthday, which I didn't even realize until after that.
Wow.
So just those things and those connections, kind of like it all kind of worked out in such a good way and a blessing. So the people here really know baseball. So when they come to games, if we bunt, you go other places, they may not understand what you're doing, but if you do it here and the guy gets the job done, they may give you a standing ovation just because they understand the game so well. So it's a really good place to be for where I am. They've treated myself and my family really well, and yeah, I'm happy with everything where I'm at.
Good deal, man. So the size of the school, I mean, Division III level, all right, that's was established there. When it comes to, what's the enrollment, like, and when up there, what's the enrollment like?
Good question. So they have almost 100 undergrad degrees. A lot of people think with like D3 schools, and I used to think this too, right? When I was in high school, I didn't want to play D3 and all these other things, right? Mm-hmm. That's really a label because it depends on the institution, the athletic program that you're actually at and how they treat athletics, right? Mm-hmm. You get some D1 schools. We have better facilities than a lot of D1 schools. Mm-hmm. We just had a commit who had an offer from Michigan State, and he actually said our campus was better as far as the look, and how we kept everything up. And different things like that. So we're a public school. Most times people think D3s are small schools, population of like maybe 1,000 or something like that. But we actually have over 12,000 students here. So it's a big school, and it's a lot of variety. It's not in a town where it's like the woods or like the sticks. It's actually a pretty, if you've been to Illinois, I would equivalent it to like a Naperville or like a bigger city where you could go down the street and you'll see a Starbucks. Right. And you'll see, Wendy's, places that familiarize yourself with. So when student athletes come here, they don't feel like they don't have options. It's a heavy populated place. Everything is 10 minutes. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man. That's how, and I wanted to kind of get into that a little bit deeper, man. That stigma with Division III. I was just on the phone with a parent earlier today. And, like you said, I talked about it. I do these showcases and I run across all type of kids. Like I get kids in programs and stuff like that, helping them trying to get into schools. And, the stigma of Division III baseball, right? And, Division II and III, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's D1 or that's it, right? And what can, you've coached at Chicago State, was the Division I school. And now, you're at the Division III, and I'm sure it was Illinois Tech a D3 school.
Yep, they were.
So you're able to see the different talent levels and kind of give a little comparison. What makes a Division I, and just like you said, it's about the support of the university. But give a little comparison about it, because kids and parents and think. Like, Division III, I don't know. I'd rather go shoot for D1 and that's it. What do you have to say to those type of parents?
Well, that's great if you're the starter on the team for 4 years. But if you're not a starter on the team for 4 years, what's the point of you being at that school? What exactly are you getting out of it besides the name across the chest? And that's kind of, unfortunately, where we're at where social media is more prevalent and people want to, come off like they're, doing bigger things than they actually are. That's the unfortunate part. If you give a student athlete $5, they'll sign with you just to say they're going to a Division I, but they don't realize how the recruiting process works in Division I too. You got 8th graders, 7th graders that are committed to these schools. So you get guys that are getting late in the game, their senior year, your junior year. If you're just talking to a team, that's really late in the game. So that means probably a couple things, that they lost the scholarship from somebody, right? Or you're kind of like on the back end of their plans, right? So obviously when you put up numbers and you get results, you'll play. But a lot of times, just like anything, right? If they have more invested in you, then you know it from pro ball. The more invested they have in you, the more opportunities you're going to get. So that's also a really frustrating thing to be in. You know what I mean? So I think the biggest part is kind of the scholarship money, and that's the difference, right? So at Division I, Division IIs, you can get scholarship money athletically to go to those schools. Now, again, people don't realize that the baseball scholarship money is not the same as football. It's not the same as basketball. So you're not getting multiple people getting full rides, right? Yeah, I think one of your highest people on your teams may be at 60%, right? And those are some of your higher end guys. So you got to think those are guys that are probably draft picks, guys that got drafted out of high school, things like that. So they're already at that level. If you're not that guy, right? If you're not somebody, put myself in that situation, because I wasn't. I was always just an athlete, right? Talent-wise, yeah, could I have played Division I? I believe so, absolutely. But when I go to those schools, now I'm in a situation where I'm already behind the 8 ball, and I got to catch up to that, right? My dad used to always tell me a phrase, be a big fish in a little pond, right? So your numbers speak for yourself. If you perform at a high level, if you have 1 or 2 years, and this is what I was guilty of with making that mistake, having only, like I said, a year, really 1 year of actual college baseball stats, I did nothing. I wasn't prepared for that yet. You know what I mean? So the more experience, the more game experience you can have, the more resume you can build as a player, the more opportunities will come to you, especially if you're putting up good numbers. If you're a 400 hitter, you're hitting in the upper threes, you're still in 40, 30 bags a year. If you can show that you did that for 3-4 years, you're going to be more apt to have a longer leash with things, and you'll have more opportunities. But the biggest thing is, like, people just get caught up in the scholarship money, but they don't really understand how that works and kind of how that goes along with everything. A lot of times these schools have these kids, scouted out that they're going to get 3, 2, 4 years if they even step foot on campus.
A boy spitting right now. Hope y'all listening out here. A boy spitting knowledge over there. Hope you listening over here. So, all right. So if I'm thinking like, for the parents at Division III levels and feeling like they got to take out all these loans and all of that, how good are these financial packages at the Division III level?
Sure, each school is different, right? Even just the financial, like again, you compare our school, we're really affordable no matter if you live out of state, if you live in state, it all depends on the institution. Some institutions charge more money. Some institutions are $60,000. We're not like that. Again, we're a public school, right? A lot of schools are private, and that's also kind of how it's based too, based on population, based on different things like that are all factors what kind of determines what division you classify as. But like I said, a lot of times, really, man, it's based on the tuition that the school is with how much money. And academics are really important as well, and there's also, when you get to these places, you have to do research. There's scholarship offers outside of what the school will give you. There's minority scholarships you can apply for, just being a minority. There's, scholarships you can apply for. I'm not even joking, having facial hair. You can get $350. You just have to search it out and seek it, right? It's all about what you want and how bad you're willing to go about it to get what you need to get accomplished. So you have to seek information. A lot of times we just want things given to us and we want it easy, but you have to seek things in order to understand it at a full level. So it's a lot of opportunities always if you seek those things.
Digest a little bit. So you're telling me, Coach, if a coach don't call you and give you athletic money, all right, then there's still a chance to go to the school and get a lot of scholarships and opportunities and to go play college ball if you really want to, right? It doesn't have to be this coach come and calling you and saying, here's a boatload of athletic scholarship money, right? There are other opportunities and stuff over there to get a lot of this school paid for. Am I right?
It's always opportunities if you want to find it, right? There's always a place for you. There's so many schools between every level. If it's something that you really want to do, again, on my end, it was something that I really wanted to do, so I found a way to make it work. It's all about how hard you want to work and the results that you're willing to put out. If you're expecting things to be given to you, that's just not going to happen. You got to earn everything. At least on my end, I did, to get to where I am and just where my whole journey and process. So it's hard work, right? If you put up numbers, no matter where you are, people will notice.
Facts. My boy Alan says, how has COVID and the lack of high school ball games in 2020 affected your recruiting process?
Good question, Alan. So really, it hasn't affected it honestly at all, as I'm knocking on wood here, because, we were able to get guys with extra eligibility. The only thing that affected it was me being able to go to games physically. And that's something that I personally really like, because I don't want to go see the kid go 4 for 4, because if I go to the game, I'm already interested in you, right? And obviously my head's always on the swivel when I'm evaluating talent, but I want to see how people deal with failure, because that's what baseball is. It's not a game of success. It's a game of failure. So I want to see how you do when you go 0 for 4 and you strike out. Are you like a bad teammate? Are you throwing a helmet? Are you throwing a bat? Are you not interacting well with your coach? Do you not hustle down the line? Those are things that you can't see in videos and talking to coaches and recruiting people when you're doing this process. So that element has restricted me, which is a big part for me, because I'm big on the small, little things that, people might not focus on, as far as like home run distance and stuff like that. I'm more focused on, are you able to be locked in for 9 innings? Are you, thinking a play ahead when the ball, are you backing up the proper base? So I'm not looking at the things that show up on the videos. I'm looking at the things that nobody talks about. And that how you warm up when you get out of the car, how you stretch, how serious you take it, just different stuff like that. I want to see the mannerisms and consistency of a human being. Those are the things that when you have a ball player, that they're going to be successful, how consistent they are as a human being and their daily interactions with their teammates, coaches, and how they deal with the failure and success themselves.
I don't know what's when y'all coaches say those little things over there, with how you walking out on the field, how you dress, how you interact. Like, for some reason, that always gives me goosebumps. I just like, because I always want to be like, yo, parents, I hope you hear, and they know my parents have been listening for a long time. It's those little things that I hope these youngsters out here get that, man. My boy's saying he ain't caring about he said that's cool. It's the little stuff, man. How you are as a teammate, your how you looking out there, how you interacting out there, which you and I both know the longer you play, those are the separators more so than the hits and all that other stuff, man. It's the little things like that is the reason why he think he all of this, and he's not really a good teammate. He come thinking he's all of that and all of this. You know how they be trying to judge you so fast, man. So, but man, anyway, you preaching out here, my dude. So, look, Cynthia right here. Like I feel like I'm in church. Word. So, but all right. So I'm gonna go back to that. I want to get to your recruiting base and all of that because you're gonna make some fans out here tonight. And they gonna feel like, man, I ain't never think about my kid playing in Wisconsin, but man, we may have to, check them out a little bit, and that's why I do this. But you talked about the numbers as far as going to scholarship wise, and you never really said the numbers. What is the cost to go to Wisconsin, Eclair when it is as far and I think you said there's no difference between in and out of state, or is it?
No, so there's definitely a difference, right? So if you're a person that's within Illinois, so they've got like essentially an MSET program, right? So if you're within Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, they have kind of a different cost rate that you would as opposed to if you lived somewhere else. So like, let's say like I got kids from Alabama coming in, right, for this class, right? So if you're a person coming from out of those states, like a non-resident is what they would call it, right? That would be $17,000, right? If you're inset within those programs, those local, like Kansas, like I said, Illinois, Minnesota, if you're not a Wisconsin resident, then the tuition would be $12,000. If you're a Wisconsin resident, then the tuition is $8,000.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of like the base for kind of what we do, which is affordable again. I mean,
all the way around.
I mean, no matter where you go, no matter where you live, this place is affordable for you. So there's no excuse. Our facilities are all upgraded. We have two, actually. We have a practice facility and we have a game facility. We play in a minor league stadium, and then we have a practice facility that's walking distance from the campus. So how many D1 schools have that?
Wow.
So again, and also the tuition, so that's a part of it. So we offer everything. We check all the boxes, and that's why I've been able to get kids from all over the country, especially starting this 21 class, and be able to get high-performing players because they've been around and they've seen the difference and they know.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of what you just said, right? Because my girl Cynthia just said, I'll fly, and she down in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? So
we got people from around that area. We got Mississippi. We got Florida. We got Georgia, Texas, Colorado. We have places. We have people from all over the country coming in to play, and they understand. They could go anywhere. And they play on. We've got pitchers. We got guys that play on East Cobb that are coming in. That have had Division I offers, like I mentioned, and they're picking to come here and play for us because they understand that it's bigger than baseball. And you're going to get developed here, which is something that you don't get most places. When you go to these Division I schools, another thing I want to hit on, and you go to some of these organizations, you have to be ready. There's no development, right? I feel like here we develop at a high level, and we focus on, repetitions and making sure you get right. And that's kind of my biggest thing. And that's why I've been, blessed enough and fortunate to get really good results in my coaching career, because I keep it simple and I focus on doing the right things repeatedly. And that's the key. And again, you don't get that some places. I'm really honest with these guys about where they stand, where they at on the depth chart. You go some places, you don't know where you stand, and that, you don't know what you may fly open a lot as a pitcher and nobody's saying a word to you about it. We're going to fix all that stuff. And then it's up to you to kind of dictate how you make the adjustments and how you perform at a successful rate. But we give you the keys.
I love what you're talking, man. I definitely think that with this interview here, I know you're already changing the game over here, man, but I'm hoping that my parents listening in, especially, let me ask you, where are you with 21s or 20? Are you done with the 21s? Are you all still, how's that work, man?
I'm never going to turn down a good baseball player ever. But as far as kind of where we're at, we've got 24 officially committed. We're essentially done. We have 23 on this current roster. But again, I'm never going to turn down good players. This started out at over 30, and people have dropped off. Again, it's not for everybody. The commitment the intensity of it, and just what exactly, the standards of what I want for this program to be. Not everybody can handle that. I'm hard. I'm a people's person. I'm a coach's. I feel like I'm a player's coach, but I'm a different person. And I tell recruits this all the time. When you get me in between the lines, I'm locked in and I'm intense. Like I want to do whatever it takes to win, in the right way. And then when you get me outside of baseball, like in conversations like this, me and you just kind of talking and chopping it up, you'll get the more down to earth like side of me. But in competition, like if you and I had a competition right now, we're not friends. Like I'm trying to take your head off. And that's just how I am, and I'm a business-minded person, business first and then fun later. So, that's kind of my approach, and we've lost people, but that's okay. Again, it's not for everybody, and the people who understand what this is really about and know what we're trying to do will stay, and they'll be successful, and we'll get results because of it.
Facts. My boy Rodney out in the Houston, Texas area said, "Do you need a lefty?"
Always. We actually got a lefty pitcher from Houston, Texas, too. That's funny.
And he's a Wisconsin dude. Matter of fact.
Okay.
He's from us. They moved. I mean, it's been a few years, but he's, I'm going to share Rodney. I'm going to share his information at the end, and we'll see what's up with that, man.
So again, let me just go over that again so everybody understands exactly what we're doing from a tuition standpoint for a full year, right? So if you're a non-resident, it's $25. If you're returned to Wisconsin, so that means you kind of went and then you came back, it's $21. If you're in that MSET program, it's $20. If you're a Minnesota resident, it's $17. And then if you're a Wisconsin resident, it's also $17. So that's for the full year, kind of what we charge and what we do.
Okay. I got you. And you saying the facilities are really, really good, and housing and all of that for these athletes, pretty good, huh?
It checks every single box. I'm not even exaggerating. There's no way you could get kids from Florida and Alabama to come here that pitch for East Cobb if this place didn't check all the boxes. He's facing SEC competition every night on the mound. So if this place from the campus is on top of a lake, I mean, it's beautiful here, man. You couldn't ask for anything else. You can go online and check it out. Our weight room, we have over 30 bench and squat racks. Again, like I said, multiple facility places. So where if one place is busy, you have another place you can go to. So it's everything you could ask for.
Okay, y'all hearing it, man. So scheduling, all right. What type of schedule do you guys travel? I know what COVID has been, but in the next year or two, what's the schedule looking like? You just kind of Minnesota, Wisconsin, where you guys travel to?
Yeah, so this year we're playing. So in D3 you get 40 games for what you play for the regular season. Okay. So this year we're only playing within our conference. So we can't go outside of that. So if anywhere we play, obviously some games count as conference, some games count as non-conference, but they're all within our conference, if that makes sense. So like the games on Tuesdays and Fridays count as conference. The games on Saturday count as non-conference. To give you kind of an idea how the schedule kind of works with that. But everything this year is typically only in conference. And then going forward, so like in a regular year, what my schedule initially was, we were going to go to Florida, we were going to play in Indiana, we were going to play in Illinois. We were going to go multiple places to get games in. So that's kind of what I want to do. We for our spring break trips and stuff like that, I like to travel different places every year. So we'll go to Florida again next year once the travel bans are lifted. And then the year after that, I want to go to Tucson, Arizona. So a part of this process is also for these young men to be able to see the world, right, and see the country. Again, that's what I want my team to be as well. Reflect me, right, my diversity and kind of who I am. So we're going to go different places and see different, when you go to different coast, different East Coast versus West Coast, they play different styles of baseball. The South plays a different style of baseball. So in order to be a national contender, like I say I want to be and what I plan on being, we have to see all that, and we got to play that, and we got to be able to adjust.
Oh, love it, my boy spitting right now. Wisconsin D3 is really good. Most of the programs have nicer facilities than the D1s. Eau Claire is a beautiful campus. Now, what I've been hearing with the kids posting that they are getting offers more and more on social media, coaches won't offer until they apply to the school. Is that true? I mean, I guess.
No, I mean, not necessarily, but what I do is I don't take guys serious until the recruiting thing is one aspect. Because how can I recruit these guys from these out-of-state places who have no idea where Eau Claire, Wisconsin is if they haven't applied? So that's on me. So I do that initially. Now we go to the next step as far as scheduling visits and different things like that after they've applied. Because that's kind of there's been other conversations I've had with players and they say, oh yeah, coach, I'll do it. And I'm not going to kiss guys' butts and I'm not going to follow after people like that. People who are interested and who know a genuine coach and who know when they hear something different that is giving them the right stuff, they're more apt to be more proactive. And again, I'm a proactive person. So if you're not proactive and I got to go chase you, I don't want you anyway. So I make that interest, I pique their interest. We talk, I tell them what we offer. And all those things. And then I give them like a week to apply. And then I'll shoot like a reminder maybe in the middle. And then I'll reach back in at the end of the week. If they haven't done it yet, boom, they're done. They're off my list.
I want to get into that, Coach. I had this conversation too, because sometimes I think parents feel like, sometimes they forget when nobody was hollering at them and talking to them and I say parents, but kids too, you know what I'm saying? Because, at the junior, senior, when they become junior and seniors, a lot of responsibility needs to go on them because they can talk to you directly. Now, I like what you just said. You actually going a mile or two more than I would, right? You know what I'm saying? But how important is it for a kid to be on top of his business, or parents need to make sure their kids on top of it as far as following up, doing the necessary paperwork, and reaching out to you when you say, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of parents are asking for, hey, we want this and we want opportunities to play at the next level. How often, let's just say out of 10 kids that you may be speaking to, what's the percentages of kids that you kind of take off your list because they're just procrastinating or you feel like, they're not really serious about either attending your school or just about the recruiting process? Because I feel like it ain't just your school. I feel like it's probably, as a whole, they're not being on top of their business. How often do you see that?
Out of 10, 4.
So 40%, 4 out of 10 parents and kids are basically potentially blowing their opportunity to play at the collegiate level. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, yeah, if we go bulk numbers and whole numbers, yes, absolutely. Because even just the interest, right? Like if you're just downplaying us, like we're just this D3 school and you don't want to have anything to do with us, you should never burn bridges, right? Because you never know if that D1 school that you go to or where you think you want to go, if that doesn't work out, what are you going to do after that, right? Now you're stuck. Now you're scuffling for what you need to do to kind of get back on track. So that's a lot of it, is that people just think they're above it. But just as far as the process, that's got to be on the player. My parents helped me with like the paperwork as far as FAFSA and stuff like that. But it was me. If I wanted it, I had to figure out how to get it done. If I had to ask the right questions, like I asked them. So it's not even on the parents. I put it on the players. If you really want this and it's something that you want to do, you need to be on top of it and ask the right questions. Hey, coach, is there anything else I need to know? That's the best question you could possibly ask, right? Because the coach is going to tell you everything about, hey, you got to do X, Y, and Z. Then from there, it's up to you. Hey, mom, coach said I need to do X, Y, and Z. Can you help me get this done? So it's not the parents. It's on the players. I put the accountability on them. If you really want it, you'll find a way to get the resources that you need to get it done.
My boy's spitting over here, man. All right, so it's more on the kid. So when should that transition happen? Like, because maybe 9th to 10th grade parent, but when do you think right away the kid? I mean, obviously he can't call you directly, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like reaching out to schools, emails and stuff like that, do you feel like the kids should be doing that from day one?
Yep, you're the best advocate for yourself. I don't care if you play in some of the best travel organizations in the country. You should still be an advocate for yourself, right? At all times, you're your best advocate, right? So you should be reaching out, telling them, hey, like, this is my interest. This is where I'm at. Or if a school reaches out to you, make sure you reach back out to that school, even if you may not have initial interest in them. Just, hey, I acknowledge you. I see that you have interest. Thank you, coach. I'm still trying to decide what I want to do, etc. Like I said, my original point, you don't want to burn bridges, right? So you always want to keep those options open and networks of communication because you never know who you may need in life.
Coach, man. So what's up? So, Division three has been a little bit more lenient than Division one. But as far as camps and showcases, anything like that, do you have anything lined up this summer? For you guys yet? Is it set in stone?
I'm actually not doing anything this summer. We will be doing something in the fall, and we're actually doing it with the softball program, which is doing really good. And the softball coach here is amazing. She's in the Hall of Fame, Leslie Huntington. Shout out to the program for them, the women's program here. Mm-hmm. So we'll be doing something toward like the end of September, right around September, but nothing right now. It's just too hard, trying to navigate all the protocols and things like that. And honestly, with us being a first year program, we just need to get running. So my priorities are other places. I'm actually working with USA Baseball as well. So I'll be doing stuff with them. So I'll be, getting that groundwork laid down and stuff like that. So nothing this year, but we'll definitely start. You'll definitely start hearing about camps and different things like that as we move forward with this.
Okay, let me ask you. So it's your first year. It's not the school's first year in baseball.
No, this is the program's first year. They didn't have a program for 25 years, and they hired me to bring it back and get it started. They got rid of it because of Title IX in 1995. So they cut the baseball program, and this is the first time it's back. So it's a lot. It's a lot of work. So you can understand why I'm not really thinking of camps right now.
Oh wow! I know that, brother. Yeah, I didn't know. Oh wow, that's man. I like we've had Coach Holloway over here at Xavier University. He's doing very similar stuff, right? At starting a brand new program from scratch, and so I already know. Gosh, so how did you? When in that responsibility, what are you doing for players? Like, how were you able to get players? I met one of your players last week on that thing, but how were you able to get players? How did that work?
Working hard, having long nights, not being, satisfied until I got the type of guys that I thought would fit our program. Using every resource possible, talking to different people from coast to coast, watching videos endlessly. Recruiting, texting, all social media, Twitter, not only do we when we recruit these guys, another thing, we also look at your social media. So that's something also. And when you think you delete something, it's not actually deleted. And that just speaks to the character of person you are. So that's also important. Another intangible thing that people don't think about. It's not always just about what shows up on the field, right? So if you tweet something that's ignorant or you post a picture that you're not going to be happy about in 6 years, remember, that'll come back to bite you. So all those research, doing those things, man, is kind of what I've done to kind of get to where I'm at and just try to find the best possible players who want to compete.
Okay. Do you let players play football as well? Eclair has become a real Division III powerhouse as of late.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really tight with the football coach. He and I have a good working relationship, and we've had a couple students do it. It gets hard. It's difficult. I'm not gonna lie. It's a challenging thing to do, but I'm definitely not somebody that would cut it off. I just think it's hard to do, to try to get those equal reps, especially if you want to get playing time in both sports. It's easier at the high school level, but some people are just genetic freaks, right? Like, we talk about this all the time. Like, you and I are completely different ball players, D. You're a genetic freak. You're a first-round pick, man. I'm not a genetic freak, so I had to work extra hard to get those. Not saying you didn't, so I don't want to make it seem like that, but I had to work 15 times harder than you just to get to where I'm at. So it's just hard with those reps to kind of get those covered and compensated, because it's hard enough with guys playing multiple positions, trying to be a pitcher and hitter, let alone trying to play another sport. So it's difficult, but I encourage it if that's what somebody wants to do. I try to not shoot people down initially without giving them an opportunity to at least try it.
All right. Tia in Atlanta says, can Coach Bolden clarify what classes is he recruiting for?
To be honest, right now, I would say like the 23 class. Some 22 as well, but those numbers will be limited. Like, we honestly already have 22 commits that are looking to commit. So that's how far in the game we are, and that's how excited and locked in people are, and they're believing into what we're doing. Not many D3 schools have 22 guys that are looking to commit already, and that's where we're at.
You got 22 class kids already looking
Yeah, looking to commit here in the next couple of weeks, but we're not even putting an application in. So that's where we're at with that. I don't look at it. With having my experience, been able to have results at every level that I've been at, from D1 everywhere. I don't look at this as a D1. This is, for me, this is D1. Everything is top notch, and it's not even about a class. It's not even D1, D2, just running everything with a tight ship and doing it the right way. So don't matter what the division classifies as. I just try to do everything in the best of my ability and try to get the most out of it.
All right, my boy Woody over there plugging it in. All right, D. Then you got to go check out Coach D's Southern Cal Showcase this Saturday. So, Coach Bolden, when you start up, because I'm a good way to pump my showcase this weekend.
We play Saturday. We're opening. It's the first game of the season for us this Saturday, actually. And to go back though, like I said, I'm never gonna turn away a good ball player. So I recruit any class. I mean that when I say that. If it's a talented ball player, I will find a spot for you. If it's somebody that can put in the work, I don't care what my numbers are. I will create a jersey. I will write Sharpie on the back of the jersey if I have to, if it means helping giving somebody an opportunity. So that's something that I'm passionate about, because of some, people have shut me off. So I don't want to act like I'm just closing things off to people. But if I always got room for talented ball players, no matter what year they are, or how old.
Well, listen, my boy said, listen, I already know that's right, Coach. But while we on that subject, I appreciate it, Woody, over there. So tomorrow will be the last day to sign up for the showcase. We had a good amount of turnout already. My boy Woody and we got already Texas, Arizona, Nevada, and California represented. And don't worry, Coach, I'll plug you into the footage of the tape footage from the showcase and with some of these kids, man, and that especially the 23s and 4s, and if it was like a stud that won't mind coming out to a pretty Wisconsin, I'll make sure I'll plug you in for the future ones too. We got Florida. I'm signing up Florida and Charlotte and in the future, man. So hopefully get one up there in Wisconsin and this whatever, and I get to meet you in person.
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right, but Dean said, Coach Bolden, I love your mindset, your energy, and your passion. All right.
Thank you.
That's facts right there. All right. I want to say good luck and God's greatest blessings on you and your program. I just celebrated greatness. All right. Okay. Well,
thank you.
Well, I mean, I know Cynthia got a ball player down in Louisiana. I don't know if all right, 21. Yeah. All right. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? But my boy Woody out in California said, I got a 2023 6'2", 225-pound third base and first baseman for you, Coach, out there in California. All right. He'll be out there in my showcase. So I'm going to put Coach Bolden's information on shortly. And any videos, Coach, how do you like it? Twitter, emails? How do you like videos being shared or sent to you?
Yeah, email. It's hard with phone because some people have Androids, iPhones. So it's hard with that. They make it like that on purpose. So a lot of it's video. So I'll give you my email and my Twitter. So my email is Bolden, BOLDENCA @uwec.edu.
Say that one more time.
Then my Twitter is Coach Bolden _.
All right, let me get Bolden CA at
uwec.edu.
Coach, do me a favor. Plug it in if you got the computer or your phone over there. If you can, you put it in the comment section and I'll just share it.
Yeah, let me see. There's a private chat section. I'll put it in.
I got your email. It's right here. Let me run it. Because I just lazy. All right, so here we go. So yeah, you will be getting. I have a pretty good idea that you will be getting some footage from some different players around the country, and that's why I do what I do. All right.
Please do send it. Like I said, I'll never turn away anybody. If it works and it makes sense, then I'm willing to give it a chance.
All right, and I'll put that up again. Email towards the end again. All right, we got about 5 more minutes, Coach, and I'll let you. I know you probably got practice or something.
Yeah, we do. We got practice at 4 o'clock actually in 8 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna get you out of here in 2. All right. So, All right. What is your culture you're building in the next few years? And this will be the last question, Coach.
Culture, so competitiveness, competing in everything that you do, sprinting on and off the field. I'm a coach that I like coaching all elements of offense. So I like running. I like being able to bunt. I obviously love hitting the ball out of the park and hitting the ball in the gap and stuff like that with how I teach the swing. I'm not a big tech person. I keep everything simple. The biggest technology that I have is this, and that's my phone. That I have to take videos. So I'm not into the video game stuff with the, different programs. I'm not going to call any programs out, but I'm not into that. I'm more old school. I'm more of a visual person. I see it. I'm not into analytics. Like I said, I like to keep everything really simple, but just the biggest thing is being a really well-rounded team that can do everything. And I like putting the pressure on the defense.
Okay. Well, the last statement, Coach, and I'm gonna get you out of here. All right, my boy said, Coach, I got 24 grab. We are down here in Greenfields, Wisconsin. All right, so this is Coach's Twitter right here. Coach, I want you to take us out. I mean, you've been kind of spitting knowledge the whole time. Just give me a minute. So again, tomorrow will be the last day to sign up for the showcase. In California. Tomorrow I will not be on, as I will be flying out to California. I will be on Friday. This is I'll be doing it out there in California leading up to the showcase. So again, the link is up here. We'll get this thing going. I appreciate Coach Bolden taking on his time. Coach, if you could, man, take us out with a good message, man, before you head out for practice, bro.
Yeah, so if you're a player on this or a parent, couple things that I want to give you is to play every position. Just because you're a shortstop at 12 does not mean you're a shortstop when you become 22, because you never know when you get to a university what positions could be open. So have experience playing every position. Biggest thing is play hard always, and just have fun, man. It's a game at the end of the day, right? Have fun and just be versatile in everything that you do and be open and don't close yourself off to people or any other options that you could have in this game. Just life in general, be open-minded.
Listen, man, like I said, one of the dopest, hottest young coaches out here. Listen, he just spit to y'all for damn near an hour, man. Coach, I'm a talk for about 2 more minutes, man. I know you got to go to practice, man. I will holler at you. Obviously, man, I appreciate you, my brother, taking out your time, man.
Thanks for having me, D. I appreciate you, man. We'll talk soon.
No doubt, bro.
Hey, thank you, everybody. I appreciate the positive words.
All right, cool, man. All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
All right. So, man, what a dope interview with a dope coach. Man, we as you can see why he's, he's gotten a head coaching job, but it's just a year and a half of college experience, man, really doing big things, man. So, I highly suggest that you guys, if you have a kid, he's saying he's treating his program like it. I ain't heard too many Division IIIs talking about we're good and we're looking for 2023s. I haven't heard that yet, man. You know what I'm saying? So, there you go. So if you have, I'm sure if you got some stud 22, 23s, and 24s, go ahead. This is his information again. All right. This is the Twitter. All right. And this is the email. Of course, it'll be in the comment section. Last day tomorrow to sign up for the showcase in California, and I'm so excited to get out there in Cali. And if you have not filled out the registration, I will be sending out the roster to the college coaches out there. This is for my people that are coming to the showcase in California. I will be shipping the roster out to the college coaches on Friday. All right, so you need to get the registration. Today was supposed to be the last day, but I guarantee I'll have some few kids signing up tomorrow, and they're going to fill out that information. So get it in. All right, get it in, because tomorrow I will be out of pocket. I'm pretty much traveling all day. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing everybody that will be out in California. All right, it's going to be it's going to be well attended. All right, gonna be pretty cool. All right, get to be out there in Killer Cali. Well, I'm gonna say Killer Cali. All right, beautiful Cali. All right, out there. It's gonna be fun. Raj, yes, no doubt. Definitely good. It's been a while. It's hard to get these coaches on because they're playing right now. So, he definitely looked out. we do a roundtable discussion. I got a chance to meet him last week behind the scenes. I was doing a roundtable discussion with him, a couple other Division II and III coaches, and along with a couple other, dudes that run showcases and stuff too. So, a lot of things are shaking behind the scenes, and people are, trying to, just make this baseball community better, tighter, and everything, including myself. So they reach out, we have nice discussions, and we go. And had a couple yesterday myself. So trust me, I would like for you guys to tag this, share this. If you need any help with the recruiting side, let me know. All right. And we'll get this thing going. So safe. I want everybody to be safe tomorrow. Look for me on Friday. I will be on Friday. I don't know how long I will be able to do it. All right. It's just one of those, but I will be on Friday. Okay. I ain't going to miss out. I missed out a couple of days last week with traveling and doing stuff like that. So, but I will be on Friday out there in California. So tomorrow I will not be on, but Friday I will. All right. Next week I will have another Division I coach on. Just going to get the final day. We're going to get him on. All right. Division I school in the Northeast. I had a nice long talk with him today. Young brother doing his thing too. And man, so I try to, it ain't like it was back in the summer where every day or whatever, but if I could get a coach, one coach a week or two, you know what I'm saying, while they're in season, I feel like I get to share it with you guys, and you guys get to, I think it's pretty cool. All right. So we go from there. D, thanks for your information, great knowledge. You're the best. Appreciate you, Cynthia. All right. No doubt about it. So anyway, I'm going to say this. Love you guys, man. Holler at me if you need any help. I will be on Friday. As of tomorrow, we'll be traveling out to Cali, and I will see you guys. All right, make sure you guys be safe out there. Peace and love to you guys. Okay, be safe. Peace.